Yo guys, Ghost here, and today I've got a bit of a news rundown for you guys. Lots of interesting tidbits about Battlefield 2042, and I apologise if my voice sounds a little strained. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold. So to begin with, let's talk about the C4 explosives. A couple of days ago, Temporal posted this image on his Twitter. The left picture is from the gameplay reveal trailer, and there you can see that the C4 is in the throwable slot, and it remained there during the alpha test as well, I believe. But now in the newest open beta trailer on the right side there, it looks like it's gotten a new icon and has been moved to the global gadget slot. So that means that now you're going to have to make a choice between an anti-air launcher, an RPG, or C4 if you want something that goes boom. To me, this sounds like a wise decision. After all, running around with an AA launcher for your global and then using C4 against tanks as your throwable seems a little too good to be true. Okay, this next point isn't exactly 2042 related, but probably worth mentioning. If you own Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4 on Origin PC, you can currently grab a free copy of the Apocalypse DLC for BF1 and the Dragon's Teeth DLC for Battlefield 4, so get it while it's hot. Okay, so a couple of days back, EA posted their Battlefield Community Charter that outlined the rules they expect their players to adhere to, as well as the various options we have as players to curb harassment and unwanted behaviour. I'm sure you guys have already read most of it or heard from it in another video, but Freeman posted this screenshot of the scoreboard on Twitter to demonstrate the various ways we can report other players. However, this is actually our first ever official look at the scoreboard. So on the left side there, you've got what we can only assume is your soldier. I think that little icon with the monitor is most likely going to be where the platform you're playing on is displayed for crossplay. So the icon here probably represents PC. Next to that is a number. I could be wrong, but this is normally where your rank would be, and honestly, if all we get there is a number, that's going to be a little disappointing. I would much rather see an emblem to go along with it there, but of course, this is most likely just a placeholder. You can also see that all the other soldiers in this game are AI, so that too may have an effect. Now on the right we have the new player card. Community manager Kevin Johnson described player cards as the new Dogtags, leading everybody to the assumption that Dogtags were no longer in the game. He of course cleared that up, saying they were, and according to Temporal, the client also features a stolen Dogtag widget for the main menu with info like taken from, title, player, and times to be displayed on there. Alright, moving on, let's talk about crossplay and keyboard and mouse. A lot of people have been wondering about these two. So crossplay will be active during the Battlefield 2042 beta. You will be playing with and against people on PC and console, but you won't be able to squad up with friends on other platforms for the beta. So if you're playing on PS4, you can only queue up with players on PS4 and so on and so forth. It was also confirmed that keyboard and mouse will not be available for console players at launch. I think with most of the recent crossplay Call of Duty games shipping with this functionality, a lot of us expected Battlefield to follow suit, but it seems they're going to play it safe for now. They haven't put the idea to bed yet though. This is the first Battlefield game with crossplay, and I think they just want to see how it pans out without overcomplicating things further. And finally, I wanted to touch on the topic of censored in-game chat. So alongside this Battlefield Community Charter, EA also edited a blog post entitled Battlefield's Commitment to Positive Play. So one of these sections here is about the tools and features that'll be available to us to refine our social experience, as they put it. So you'll be able to block or unblock players in-game, ensuring they cannot message or voice chat with you. You can mute in-game text or voice chat entirely or from specific players, and you can report a player directly in-game, as we've seen from that scoreboard screenshot. However, they also say that an in-game profanity filter will always be active. Now, up until Battlefield 5 released, this had been an option. If you don't like cuss words, you can turn it on. But once BF5 came along, they made it mandatory and there was no way to disable it. Furthermore, it didn't even work particularly well, often censoring words that weren't profanatory causing players to misinterpret what somebody else was saying. So in terms of the overall scale of things, whether or not there is profanity in the in-game chat may not seem like a make it or break it detail when it comes to a purchasing decision for Battlefield 2042, but judging from people's reaction to this on Reddit, it looks like this is a particularly polarizing subject. In my opinion, I think having a profanity filter in place that cannot be turned off is the wrong decision. It's just like saying that profanity is inherently bad, and for me, that simply isn't the case. You know, you can string any amount of words together to offend somebody, and it doesn't have to contain profanity. While some swear words are only used in a hateful manner, others can be used to emphasize, or exaggerate, or help to embellish a story. In fact, the right swear word at the right time can make a good joke even better, and it doesn't necessarily have to offend anybody. When I was a kid growing up, everything was censored. Nobody swore on TV or in movies. All the radio stations played the radio edit of expletive songs, but nobody does that anymore. It's commonplace to hear people swearing in movies, TV, on the radio, in songs, hell, even in video game campaigns. So why is it so bad that we're exposed to that via the chat? Now, I'm all for having this as an option. By all means, put it on as default even, but at least give players the opportunity, if they like, to turn it off. Don't get me wrong, I am absolutely against any type of harassment or verbal bombardment by idiots on the internet, but it looks like DICE and EA have already given us a bunch of fantastic tools to combat that. If somebody is being toxic in the chat, you can mute them in the chat. If you don't like the chat at all, turn it off. If you happen to be a devout member of the clergy, whom by no means condones the act of swearing or cussing, that's fine, just turn on the profanity filter. But forcing it on players feels like we're all suffering because of the actions of a few plonkers on the internet. You're always going to have idiots and trolls on the internet, but I really don't think this is the best way to deal with hate speech. Anyway, like I said, it's not a huge deal for me. It's not going to stop me from buying the game or anything, but this just feels very much like EA covering their rears from potential lawsuits and things of that nature, and then wrapping it up and giving it to the community under the guise of, we want to protect you. Anywho, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you agree with me or disagree? Let me know, because I'm interested to see what you guys think on this matter. In any case, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Battlefield, and I'll see you in the next video.